She's been avoiding what her heart's been telling her this whole time. She's been avoiding falling in love with me. And this is the episode where we finally share with you how it happens. And you fell hard.
No, I didn't.
You felt beautiful. It was nice. It was nice.
It was nice.
It's just like, this is like movie story type of the way this all went down.
Yeah.
And I think it's, if you've ever wanted to hear a conversation that epitomizes the rise of a man into his masculine and the falling of a woman into her feminine, this is the episode you must listen to. Would you agree?
I agree.
So where do we begin? We left off laughing at Step Brothers.
Is that where we left off?
That's where we left off. Yeah, which I hope you guys enjoyed the pictures, because we gave the team a whole bunch of pictures. So if you saw it on YouTube, you should have been able to see that.
Yeah. So I know where we left off. So we drive from Step Brothers Hotel to Lake Como. And this is the drive where we're driving with the roof down.
We're driving with the roof down. We're going through these beautiful mountains, this beautiful hilly scenery. And she still hadn't told me I love you. By now, we're actually having a wonderful time.
I think I started like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, check this out. I'm driving, and remember what I was telling you? I was dating a hot dude. Remember? So driving with her this whole time. Here I am, taking her on this beautiful trip through Italy with the top down, like dream life shit, right? And the whole time she's like this. She's like this, right? And so finally on this drive, her body language changed. And I remember just feeling your hand over here, and I was like, oh. Because I just wasn't used to that from you, right? And you were just like, you started the process of like softening.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? If you really think about what happened to you on that trip, from day one, where you were like mean and cold and like not just with me being sick, you just weren't the nicest person in the world, to that, like when you finally started, how many days was that apart?
Like 10, I think.
10 or so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the good news is, after 10 days together, like, I think what I started feeling is I really like being around you.
Yeah. We did have a really good time together.
Yeah. Yeah. There was never any part of my time with you where, I'm going to tell you as a man, where I checked out another woman, I thought about anybody else. I normally get the ick in 30 seconds or less. So after 10 days of like genuinely, like, I don't like hanging out with people. And I like hanging out with you. And let alone on a trip, do you know how many fights and how many disagreements and how much bullshit most couples I've been through before? And nothing. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Is that what you started to feel?
There was definitely like something distinctive about us that I think we both felt from the beginning, which was, here are two people that don't really love hanging out with a whole bunch of people. That's just not really in our nature. I'm quite a hermit. You're quite individual and like doing your own thing most of the time. And here are two people who come together and actually like, oh, you're an okay human. Yeah. I can chill with you.
Yeah. And then, for me, I do want to speak to this. It's like, the man is visual. And so I really think this is a topic that, later on we'll discuss, but like, my eyes were locked on you. Like, that was very, very important for me to feel. And I think it's a subject that everybody needs to really understand, because men and women are wired completely different. And so naturally, like, the man is visual, right? And the woman is the ears, right? the woman wants to hear, the man wants to see. And so I think also at the same time, I kept telling you, like, I know you love me. I know, like, I love you. I love you. So like, I think like if you think about it, I think
You brainwashed me.
pretty much, yeah. But I think my decisiveness,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm sure you must have felt like, fuck, this guy he ain't going nowhere. Like he really wants me, you know? And you receiving that is what allowed you to slowly start to soften.
Mm. And I think that's a good point, because I really feel like in this day and age, like having a man pursue you as a woman is like quite hard to come by these days.
You think?
Well, yeah, because I think there's so much choice for men. It's like we've got the dating apps and we can just like flick. Oh, you kind of look nice. I'll like take you out for a day and do whatever. And then it's like, okay, like next, flick. Like there's so much choice and there's so much option, and they don't really have to make the utmost effort to court a woman, if we like talk really old school. But really, I think women do want to feel pursued. They do want to feel like someone leans in. And I'm sure like the same for a man. A man wants to feel loved as well. I just think there's a lot of like using going on between men and women with the access that we have to each other through online dating apps, Instagram, whatever.
Okay, I want to speak to this. That's the 3D world. And that's the energy that you get, this using aspect when you live in that energy. Like, my challenge to everybody is to remember, you know, what we teach is you are the creator of your life, right? And so the question is, what do you have to do to internally feel like you are the pick? Like, just imagine for a second. Just imagine for a second walking around planet Earth. This is not, you know, you are taught to not be proud. You are taught that to not take care of yourself first, right? You're taught that to keep you disconnected from your power, quite frankly. I'm not saying this in an egotistical fashion, right? But what if you walked around planet Earth knowing like, no, I'm it. I'm the one. I'm the one. You know, there's going to be a natural attraction to that. And you would only, once you heal and get to that level, attract people who are also calibrating at that level. The more loving you are and honoring you are to yourself, the more that you attract people that are loving and honoring to themselves, you know?
And I think we were both very much at that place in our lives. Like, I know on that trip to Italy, there's a value that I had found for myself that I had never experienced before, where I like felt really confident in my skin for the first time, literally in my life. I felt really like proud of who I was becoming. And I think you could probably, number one, feel that. And number two, like that gives off like a certain frequency, a certain like essence of like, not in the sense of I'm the shit, don't come near me, but it's like, no, I know my value. I know. So like, if I'm not for you and you're not going to pursue me, that's fine.
That's right.
That's fine.
Right. Absolutely. And if you go back to the story, that's the energy that drew you in the first place. Once I finally said like, it's all good. If this happens, it happens. If it doesn't, there's this unattachment.
Right.
And I think that in human life, attachment is the thing that actually keeps you from finding real love. I really do.
Well, if we go to like yogi principle, it's the ultimate is learning to practice non-attachment, non-judgment, and having no expectation. Because all those three things, and this is also a very Buddhist principle, if we expect things from people, if we're attached to things, humans, whatever, and what was the other one I said?
No expectations.
Expectations, attachments, and judgments. Those three things only lead to suffering.
That's right.
And if we can master the practice of not being attached, because nothing is here forever. Everything is so transient. So if I'm attached to this ring and I lose this ring and that causes me a whole bunch of suffering, then I suffer because I'm attached to the ring.
That's right.
Same with humans. And this is a hard one to master because humans are transient. We come into this earth and we leave, and we don't know when our time is to leave, and we don't know what's going to happen in the next day. But my attachment to you as a human being, and then maybe you leave or you're not here anymore, is what causes me suffering.
That's right. Speaking of that suffering, I was recently on a call with one of our inner circle clients, and I'm helping this couple navigate through a divorce. And I was having a conversation with the woman who's having a very difficult time. And I, was holding space for her. She was very emotional. And I just asked her, why do you want to be in this marriage? And she said, well, because I want my children to raise up in a household. I want them to be around their husband, their father. I want to, finish what we started. I want to. Why do you want to be in this marriage? Well, because never once did she say the only reason you should want to be in a marriage.
Because I'm in love with
because
this
I love him.
But that's an attachment to ideals.
This is attachment to
your
everything.
paradigm.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. I can only spot it because that I had to work through that.
Yeah.
But this is very real. Very real. So we're driving
back to the story, and I start caressing your head.
I had longer hair back then.
Did you?
Yeah.
And
maybe not, I don't know.
Shania Twain comes on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sing it.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby.
That is stunning, that is. So
in another life, I was a superstar Mexican mariachi singer on a horse with a guitar, by the way.
One thing you have to know about Danny, if you've never been to one of his events or Awaken, at every opportunity he gets to hold that microphone,
we're singing, baby.
And sing. When I was at home in London, Casper sent me a video from Wembley of you on stage singing, and I just replied saying, Danny Morel live at Wembley.
Life is beautiful. Sing.
You love it.
I do. Yeah.
And you, in context to You're Still the One, which is very much like our song, and I feel like it should be our first dance song, but who knows?
I don't know.
Well, you don't know about that. We had been through so much to get us to that point.
Yeah.
Truly, I can't express how tumultuous from June or end of May all the way to end of August had really been. It was like exhausting.
It really was.
And then we're driving through Italy and feeling like so liberated and like finally really like connecting without too much thought. And the song like looks like we've made it. It felt like
I started to cry.
We both cried.
We both cried. We did.
It was such a moment. It was a moment. Time.
It really was a moment.
And I actually remember we pulled over because the roof wasn't down because it was raining, spitting. So we pulled over on the side of the road.
I remember I go, no, hold on, time out.
Replay.
I pulled over, I pressed pause on the song, pulled the top down, started, and then pressed play. I was like, we're doing this shit right.
Let's do it right. And it was such a beautiful moment. And we start seeing the lake, all the lakes, and we're in between. We drove through Switzerland
and Italy.
And it was like, honestly, the most breathtaking drive I think I've ever done in my life.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Truly.
Seriously. And then we arrived at this sick hotel.
Yeah.
I remember, because I came from the world of like, look at me. I don't ever like post like, where we stay or anything like that. But this shit was so dope. That I remember, I'm going to find the video. I remember I was like, okay, guys, I know I don't do this, but you have to see this shit. Because it was right on the lake.
Yeah.
The room was dope. It had a living room, the bedroom. It was modern.
It was stunning.
It was like,
yeah. And we actually didn't stay on Lake Como. Just a little travel tip. We stayed on Lake Lugano.
What was it?
Lugano.
Oh, Lugano.
Yeah, which falls in between Italy and Switzerland. Half the lake is in Italy, half the lake is in Switzerland.
That's where you go stay.
And it just has this piece to it.
Don't stay on Como.
Yeah, Como is a little bit pretentious, and it's like fun to go. Which we did. Can we tell the story? We went on the boat that day.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, can I say something? You know, I so many people have such a hard time with like money and abundance. And what you just said, if you learn anything from us, is we want to teach you in our events and everything that we do is like, there's nothing wrong with having money. Like the only one that makes it wrong is you, right? Based off of your perception of other people. And I'm so glad you said that because like, we don't like pretentiousness. We just like to do what we want to do in life.
Yeah, we just like freedom.
Yeah, we just want to
really
enjoy.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if we want to stay somewhere, we want to stay there.
Yeah.
We don't want to think about money. And if you allow yourself to like really process that, like how much more loving can that be for you to give yourself a life where you're free to do whatever you want, whenever you want it. And so, yeah, I remember we rolled up to Lake Como. We're going to have lunch there. And it was like, I remember even that we agreed on. Like, you know, all the people were like snobby.
Yeah, it was snobby.
We don't stay at places like that.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be in that energy.
Well, you had booked a boat trip.
Yes. In a dope little Italian Riva?
Riva, yeah.
Your mom knows.
Yeah. Yeah, so a day like on the lake, kind of like touring all the beautiful houses and like getting a bit of culture in. And I remember...
This picture we're going to show you, for sure.
I don't know what it was from being like so connected, but Danny decided to put on these terrible blue and white striped swimming trunks.
Okay, we're going to have a poll, and I want you on YouTube to let us know yay for the shorts or nay for the shorts.
Nay for the shorts.
You're going to love. They were sick.
The collar.
They were dope, blue and white, chill shorts with a nice polo short sleeve collar. And I think more people are going to say yay, is what I think.
I think you look like an old man.
Randy, shut up. I think I look dope. That's what I think. I think I look dope. But anyways.
And it caused me to have the ick with you the entire day. Because we weren't at that stage. Like,
we weren't.
Now when you wear stuff, and apparently when I wear stuff too now.
You guys should have seen this woman, my wife-to-be, goes to Target the other day in a fucking white sweater with green sweatpants with black, purple, and pink Crocs with gray socks. I got uncomfortable. I was like, why do you look like that? No, this can't be.
Well, you did it in true Danny style as well. You waited right to the end of the day as you're getting out the shower.
You even asked me, is everything all right?
Is everything right? You're like, I need to address something with you. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? Instead of just being like, you look fucking ugly.
Yeah, you look like shit.
You look like shit. Go and change. You do it in this like dramatic way where I think I've done something awfully wrong. And then I got pissed off for like 10 minutes. Then I got over it. But anyway, we weren't at the stage where I could just be like, don't wear that.
Yeah, we weren't at that stage.
No. So I had the ick with you all day.
So how do you find the one? You find the one, quite frankly, by becoming the one. And becoming the one is a beautiful process. It's a process of unraveling all of your deepest fears. It's a process of you reconnecting to your truest self. And it's a process of reopening your heart to life's greatest possibilities. Because when you do that, you reconnect with the love that you have for yourself. And when you reconnect with the love that you have for yourself, you can then give and receive love from another human being. I want to invite you to join me in our wonderful online community called Awaken You, short for Awaken University. You can start today with an incredible 7-day free trial. You can go in, take advantage of all of the meditations, all of the classes, and once a week, I'm going to be online live with you to answer all of your questions about relationships and, most importantly, about finding the one. Go right now to findingtheonepodcast.com/awaken you. So we're just coming back from Selena waking up for a nap, and we were just discussing our boat ride. And it was an awesome boat ride. We had a great time. And we came back, and we spent like 2 or 3 more days in the Lake Como area. And on the day before we're about to leave, that's when everything changed for us.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what happened?
So
I think I'm going to tell the whole story, but.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. I just love the story.
So we decided to do a day trip to Switzerland because we were right on the border. So we drive into Switzerland and we find this really cute little town with like all these amazing shops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we park up, we get out, and at the time, I think you were like wanting to look at watches.
Yeah.
And this was one of those shops that had like watches in the window. So we decided, okay, let's go and look at the watches in this shop. So we go into this store, and it's actually a jewelry store with like some of the most incredible pieces of jewelry I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like really unique, all different colored stones, but just set beautifully.
Classy.
Yeah. Okay, go on then. Tell the story.
No, go ahead.
I don't know what else to say because I know you're going to want to cut in.
So then I remember you being on one side of the room and I being on the other side of the room. And I remember I go to this display case, this, beautiful, whatever it's called. And I see this ring. And I'm staring at the ring. And then I remember you come up next to me and we're both staring at the ring. Okay. The best way that I could describe what happened in that moment was I instantly had a vision like if I was in a room with a bunch of gold and jewelry and treasure chests. And I saw myself grabbing a necklace and placing it over your head. But it wasn't now. It was like from some other time or something. And all I can tell you guys was that it wasn't like a vision. It was like it happened. Like it was happening. The sensation that I felt in my body, it was wild. And I snapped out of it. And the word that kept coming to me was adorn. And I have never understood in my life what it meant for a man to adorn a woman with jewelry. I had never understood like the dynamics of that and like how not only beautiful that could be, but how you want to, as a man, want to feel proud in placing jewels and diamonds and all of this stuff on your woman. Like back in the day, this must have been wonderful. Nowadays, it's not like that big of a thing. And I can remember coming out of it, and I can remember you were there and I were there, and we were both looking, and then we both kind of looked at each other, and like we didn't say anything. And now, mind you, we're not boyfriend, girlfriend. She hasn't even told me she loves me.
Oh, side note, context to this is the night before we were having a conversation about like being exclusive. And I said, you know, like, you've done a lot of life. I haven't done a lot of life. I think I kind of need to go out and see what I do and I don't want in a partner. Like, I'd only been single for 6 months, and I wasn't saying this to be a dick. It was just at that moment in time, it was my truth. It was what felt right for me.
Yeah.
Like, I needed to go do the mind things and like tick off all the things that I felt I needed to know or not know, and what I want in a partner and don't want, and whatever.
Basically, we're back to episode 2 or 3 where she's like pulling away again a little bit.
Yeah, I pulled away.
Yeah. And so now we're in the jewelry store, and we actually sit down. We sit down and they bring us the ring. I can't describe to you. We're not talking. We're like, I wish you could, I hope you're watching this so you can see my face. We're literally like in a daze.
Yeah.
And they put the ring on you and you try it on. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. You obviously loved it. Do you remember what you were feeling in those moments?
I was feeling this odd dynamic between feeling like this was a moment and then being in conflict with, but this is really awkward. I just told him like the night before that I didn't want to commit to him, and like I don't want him to buy me this ring. Like are you making me are we trying it on because like you think I want you to buy it for me? Because I don't think that would be like really presumptuous. Like, had so many of these kind of thoughts coming up in my brain.
The ego.
Yeah.
And on my end, it didn't happen then. I'll tell you what happened. We walk out of the store, and again, I could literally remember, we have to go back to this little corridor. We walked through this corridor of a whole bunch of stores, and I remember for like a good 2 minutes, we walked and we were just like silent. I don't know what happened. It was like I was transported or something.
Yeah.
You know? And that's when the thoughts started coming. But she's not my girlfriend. But oh my God, but the ring is beautiful. But she likes it. But oh my God, but is she going to pick me? But is she not going to be? But what's going to happen? What if I spend all the, it was quite a bit of money. What if I spend all the money, but then she decides to leave it, blah, blah, blah. And it was going literally back and forth. And it was like from my head to my heart, from my head to my heart. And my heart was like, I don't care. I just want to give it to her. And my heart was like, what are you, fucking idiot? You're stupid. Don't, you're not going to spend that. You already treated her on this trip and you already did all this, and here you are, now you're a pendejo. What's wrong with you? And my heart was like, I don't care. It's like, I feel like this is what I have to do. Understand, like, this is deep, deep, deep. You want to talk about 50-50 culture. You want to talk about like men with money. You want to be like, this is the ultimate, like, I don't care. I don't care if you pick me or not. Like, I want you to have this. You know, I don't know, guys. It's still, to this day, it was like, I'm going back to that moment. It was fucking wild is what it was. So anyhow, I think I said like, hey, that was pretty wild, huh? And I think you responded something like,
yeah, like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, like, what was that? And we didn't have any words. But like immediately, like the me kicked in. Like, once I want something, I don't know how to like not have it. So we go into another store and we looked around and we were about to leave. So in order to leave, go.
No, we go back into the store to try it on again. And I don't know why we did that, but we did. Why.
Guys, it was like a magnet was pulling us to this ring or something. This was not of this world, I'm telling you.
So we went in and we tried it on again, and then we left, and then we carried on walking, and then we were just about to leave, and you said to me, just sit on this bench. I just need to see something. And you go into the store, and I'm like, Danny, don't buy me the ring. Don't buy me the ring. Please don't buy me the ring. Like, you don't need to do that.
Were you thinking that or saying that?
No, I said that.
Yeah, because I remember like, no. I'm just going to
You were like, no. want to buy you the ring. Don't be silly.
Yeah, come on. That's a lot of money. Like,
yeah.
no.
I just want to check something.
I sold her basically.
And then?
And then I walk into the store. Mind you, there's other customers. I'm like, this is what I did. I pulled out my card and said, listen to me right now. Take this card and charge me for this ring right now. I can't walk out with it. I'm going to have to trust you. I don't know how you're going to get it to me, but charge me right now because I don't want her to see me buying it. So they all ran. They were like, okay. And we started to devise a plan. I was like,
and I'm sitting there on this bench.
She's just sitting there on the
thinking
bench.
like maybe you were seeing if you can like get the details, and if we're still together by my birthday,
Then
maybe you would get it for me.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. Not me. That's not how I roll. So, I'm like, okay, listen, we're in this hotel. It's right over there. It's 20 minutes away. Can you just drop it off? I'll say that I'm going to the gym. You bring it to me. I'll surprise her, whatever. Right. And they're like, no, we can't cross the border with this jewelry, this amount or whatever. I'm like, fuck. And I go, okay, what if I take her to lunch? Can you meet me? They could have kept the ring. They could have, you know what I'm saying? They were like, yes, we will do that. Yes. Oh my God. Okay, great. So I walk out. I charge.
They were in on the romance story.
They were in on the romance because if I would have left with a box, you would have seen, it would have been like, what am I going to do? Give it to you on the sidewalk and shit? Like, no, that's not cool. So then we start driving, and I'm driving, and I happen to text my location to the salesperson, and I'm like trying to text, and I'm having this conversation. I'm obviously all in my head. I'm nervous, and so forth and so on. And I'm telling her where we're going to be, and I have no idea where we're going to be. And we finally pulled over, and when we pulled over, do you remember what I told you about I might be busy?
You said, yeah, on the drive. So I'm getting like pissed off.
Yes.
Because we're on this beautiful drive and it's our last day together.
Right.
And we're going for lunch. And you were like on your phone loads. I was like, don't be on your phone. Like, just be present. It's our last day together. Like, you can do that when we get back to the hotel. And you said, oh, I have a lot going on with work right now. Like, I have to do it.
I said, I've got a deal I'm trying to close.
I'm going to be on my phone loads.
I don't even close deals. I've got a deal I'm trying to close. So I'm going to be on my phone for a little bit because they're asking me some questions. And you were like, oh, okay.
No, I was pissed off.
Oh, were you pissed off?
Yeah.
Okay. So we get out of the car and I'm like, okay, this is where we're going to be. We're here in this area. I'm going to find a restaurant. And as soon as I do, I will text you. And she's like, okay, no problem. I don't even know if Swiss people talk like that, but whatever. They don't. So we finally, and we're in front of this beautiful lake. So picture lake, street, sidewalk, us, restaurant. So
we're sitting outside.
We're sitting outside and we go and the owner of the restaurant doesn't speak any English.
No.
So I think I had some pasta that day.
We both had some pasta.
Gnocchi.
Did you have gnocchi?
Gnocchi, yeah.
No, I ate like pomodoro pasta my whole way around Italy, didn't
I had some like authentic Swiss pasta or something. Hey friends, thanks for joining us here on Finding the One. We would absolutely love your support. And this is going to be our only ask. Please subscribe. Wherever it is that you're watching, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, whatever, subscribe and leave a comment and let us know how you're enjoying the show because it truly, truly goes a long way.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
I think that's it. So that's all we want to tell them.
What are you handing over to me?
Well, I don't know. I'm just handing over the mic. But if you don't want to take it, I'm going to hand it over to you now to go out and just click subscribe wherever you're listening. We really appreciate you. Anyhow, we're there. I'm like secretly texting the woman. I text her where we're at. I literally text her the game plan. She says, I said, you have to come from behind. And when you're here, text me. I'll meet you in the bathroom. I'm nervous. I'm like, so forth and so on. And the one little thing that I forgot to tell you guys, which makes it all that much more magical. We're walking to the restaurant and you tell me something. Do you remember what you told me?
Yeah. I said, it's really weird because I don't really love jewelry. It's not really my thing. But I've fallen in love with 2 pieces of jewelry in my whole life. And that was like a ring I saw when I was in Spain once.
When you were 13.
When I was like 13, that I always remember. I don't know why. And this ring, like I can't stop thinking about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
And she said to me, by the way, I'm not telling you because I want you to, please don't get it from me. I'm just like telling you. And I go, oh no, don't worry. I would never do that. That's like weirdo shit. We're not even committed, right? You know? So anyways,
Weirdo shit.
We get done with lunch. I go, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom. I go to the restroom. I see the lady. She has this bag. I can't still walk out with that bag. So I'm trying to like, in like broken English swish, I'm like, girlfriend, surprise, bag. She's like, yeah, amore, yes, oh, yes, definito. I said, I buy water. So that it looked like I was getting us water, like while we were on the road.
Yeah.
I buy water. You charge, well, charge me whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Give me a bag.
$20 a bottle. I don't care. I need a bag is what I need. So I put the bag inside the other bag and I stuck the 2 water bottles out so it could look like I actually bought water. And you bought it. And I come outside and I sit down. Do you remember anything about that moment and how you felt or anything? You had no clue.
Yeah. I remember being like, that was very handy of you to
get water
for the drive. Because you specifically pointed out that you had got us waters.
Yeah.
You didn't just like walk out with waters. You were like, oh, I just got us water for the drive back. And I was like, well done. Very good.
A good salesperson knows all the details, right? Anyhow, I'm sitting there and I go like this. Classic Danny, right? I go, babe, let's meditate. What did you think when you heard that?
I looked around and like there were a lot of like busy tables around us. And I was like, I don't want to meditate right now.
I was like, come on, just meditate.
So awkward.
Just meditate for 1 minute.
I was like, you're being weird. What are you doing? You're being weird.
I was like, come on, just close your eyes.
Just close your eyes,
just
Jen.
meditate for 1 minute. Sure enough, she starts to meditate.
I close my eyes and you go, okay, let's breathe in together. And then you're like, okay, open your eyes. And I'm like...
And while she had her eyes closed, I grabbed the box and I put it in front of her. But by that time, she thought I was so weird for doing a 40-second meditation.
Just the inhale, not even the exhale.
That's it. She's looking directly at me.
So the ring is like on the table down
in front
here,
of her.
But I'm looking into Danny's eyes like, what is wrong with you? Like, what? And you were like...
I was like this. I was looking at my eyes. I was like...
And I was like, what? What are you doing? What? And then I looked down and there was the box on the table and I was like... I feel like in that moment, time just stood still for a second. Because I was like, oh my God, you like fucking bought the ring. Why did you buy the ring? But I was also really excited.
Yeah. And I remember telling you, like, I think I even got emotional. No, I did get emotional. I remember telling you, I was like, this doesn't mean anything. I don't expect you to want to be in a relationship with me. That's not what this is about. This was just me needing to decide between my head and my heart. And I just wanted you to have this because I love you.
And that was it. I was finished.
It's over.
And not because you bought me the ring.
No.
This is the thing. Because you had the courage to do something like so bold like that. And
without attachment.
Without
like
attachment.
Genuinely.
With genuine
genuinely.
lack of attachment. And to do something so heart-led. I was just like, what? Are you a fucking idiot, Jen? What man does that? Like, you actually really love this guy. Why are you being like this?
Because you did.
I did love you.
You just wouldn't say it.
No.
And that, if you think about it, like in that moment, like all the content you see me put out about masculine and feminine, I learned it from that moment.
Yeah.
Because my masculine, my mind, did not want me to buy that ring. It tried to scare me from buying that. And I literally, all I can tell you guys, it was a spiritual moment for us. It really was. All I can tell you guys is that I literally made the decision that if it meant I never saw you again, I had to listen to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to stop myself because of money or because of being attached to an answer. No, I just for once in my life, I wanted to follow my heart regardless of the outcome. And I feel like that was the most honoring thing that I could do for me in that moment. Because I didn't want to live in that space. I didn't want to live in that constant chatter. It's like, fuck you, you're not in control. I'm in control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm in charge. And I think the decisiveness of that is very masculine. Very masculine. But then also in that moment, you like
surrendered.
I knew when you kissed me, and that your whole energy, your face, your expression, your everything. You didn't have to say anything. I knew. It was like, oh my God, this is it. It was. It was like
feeling that courage from you. My biggest thing was the inability to like let go of control and trust a man. And I feel like that is the same for a lot of women.
Yeah.
We're always in like protect, defend, be strong, like you can do this on your own, you don't need no man. Like all of these kind of constructs that we have in our minds, that when you stepped up and showed me like, you can trust me, you can trust me to be like the guy you need me to be, and to like be the heart, but also be the man. And like, in that moment, I felt safe. I felt safe to finally be like, okay, I think I can fall in love now. I think my heart's safe.
Yeah.
And that was what it was in that moment. A surrender.
Yeah. And for all you men, like if there's ever an episode that I wish men listen to, it'd be this one. You know, and I want to speak to this. I'm not. Number one, I'm telling you this was a very spiritual experience. That means you have to learn to have spiritual experiences with yourself so that you can learn and decipher when it's this and when it's this. That's a journey that you have to go on. You know, we help you through Awaken to feel that, so forth and so on. But number two, you know, for the women, I can tell that for many of you that listening to this might have been emotional. Your mind would have gone something like, oh, but I wish one day, whatever. But then your mind is also going to do what my mind did to me. And you're going to tell yourself, your smaller self is going to tell you, but that will never happen, but there's no good men out there. And I'm telling you, that is the exact same thing that I went through in that moment. Mm-hmm. And my offering to you is, when is that part of you going to be surrendered? Because until that part of you is going to be surrendered, you will always, for your life, draw in the men that are in the energy that you are declaring men are in. You're the one creating it all. And if you want to take this back, the proof is, if you take this back to, I think, episode 1 or episode 2, when Jen was on that beach, what did she write in her journal? What were you looking for?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
I don't remember. A man that is like loving and kind and that I feel safe with and that's secure. And yeah.
She called it in.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're sharing this story with you, and we've shared it up until this point with you, so that you can understand, you can see how the story interweaves, and you could see how it was like two souls that came together to be together. And there's nothing stopping you from having that same experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And the story doesn't stop there.
No.
We've been through so much shit
Yeah.
since.
Yeah, there's a lot more. A lot more.
But that was the moment for us where we decided to be together.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You want to show them the ring? That's Blue Bella. Yeah.
That's actually she's on my wedding finger right now.
Right. She's normally on this finger.
She's normally on this finger. Well, that's a whole other story.
It's a whole nother story. We're not going to answer a question this week because you have something to go do, and that's okay. But for those of you who are interested in taking this journey a little bit further, I want to invite you. I want to invite you to join us. Every Thursday, I answer your questions on relationships, your questions on love, your questions on finding the one in our community, our online community. And I'm going to have you go to findingtheonepodcast.com/awaken you to join the next Q&A. It's an awesome community. It's a 7-day free trial. And so hop in. There's a ton of meditations and classes and so forth and so on. I can't wait to see you in there.
So forth and so on.
So forth and so on.
Danny's favorite expression.
Yeah. Are we complete?
Yeah.
This one felt nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was nice. It was really nice.
We'll see you next week for episode 10.
Of Finding the One.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't know, but it's going to be some good shit. That I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meeting my parents.
Oh, yeah. Meeting your parents. And the party.
Yeah.
Emma's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is good.
Good shit.
Yeah. Bye, guys.